What's going on, guys? I'm Adam, and welcome back to the Yard Office. Joining me today, as always, I have my good buddy, Jacob Petkovsky. How we doing?
Good, I think.
You always
Good.
like cut out like right before you say something every time we
I don't
film
cut
this.
out. I pause.
Well, no, but it's like right as you're saying something, like the first little tiny bit gets like cut out for some reason.
Well, I don't know what you're exactly talking about. So,
Are you doing that on purpose?
yes.
Okay. Also joining us today, we also have our good buddy Josh. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir.
Before we get started on today's episode, I want to just talk about a couple of quick things. One, I do apologize for missing last week. I was very busy with school and just a lot of other stuff going on, as well as I've also been streaming on my Twitch, which if you want to catch me on my Twitch, I'll leave a link down below, twitch.tv/AdamHelwig We might be doing some live stream stuff for this podcast in the near future. I'm going to talk about that at the end, though. We do have some pretty interesting stuff to talk about today. Some stuff that I think is pretty surprising. We were just talking about it before we started recording, and that is the I guess the running of CP 2816 in the Calgary yard, which I don't really. This is one of those things that I think really nobody was expecting, or like nobody was really like looking for. And when it happened, nobody really knew about it, I guess, is what I would say.
I don't think people were supposed to know about it, from what I understand. It was supposed to be kind of a secret, and then TikTok happened.
Yeah, there was a video. I'll put a screenshot of it on the screen just so you guys can talk about it. That was really where it all kind of came from, was this one video on TikTok of it running in the yard in Calgary. But I mean, what really sucks is that 2816 is such a nice looking engine, and the fact that like it doesn't really, it doesn't get that much time, especially in like the past like few years. It's really upsetting to me because it's a nice looking Hudson.
That it is Empress,
so.
as it's called. I think for a lot of people consider what really drew me to it was that film documentary, Rocky Mountain Express. They did back in like 2012 in IMAX.
Yes,
I think that's. I mean, I've known about 2016 for a while. I mean, I liked it, but after seeing that and then seeing it in 4K, it's like,
oh, it's insane. Because
wow,
you, me, and Mark watched that documentary together. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's the only operating Hudson in North America.
That sounds right.
Be right.
That sounds right.
I think I'm right. I mean, we have Hudsons we have like a lot of CB&Q Hudsons on display and static, but I think 2816 is the only operational one, or at least now back operating. Because I guess what I understand is why it's running right now too is that Canada's steam locomotive laws are a lot different from ours. Like they don't require like a rebuild as often, or it's like it's not as intensive, so it's like you don't have to like wear it out a lot, then do this major rebuild. It's like every so often, so you can just keep on keeping it up to date. I think is from what I understand. It's not like your 1472 like you do here, like every 15 years. You beat the hell out of it for 15 years and like, okay, now you got to turn the entire boiler apart and re-go through it. I think it's with them, it's every couple years. And it's just you do a little bit of it each time, so you're not doing a major rebuild on it each time. I think,
I mean, from my understanding, and I think you told me this, was that 2816 has just been like sitting in a shed in operating condition for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. It sits in Calgary. Really, I think the last time it really ran was around when they filmed Rocky Mountain Express, so that's at least
early
7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
So like 70 years ago was the last time it ran. So probably I imagine it probably still had some time left on it, and I think Hunter Harrison was really want to put the cap on that thing for now.
Yeah,
and I think now with CP doing a lot of this PR stuff recently, like the heritage units, the veteran units. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, a lot of people kind of hope now that maybe the CP is getting more PR friendly. They would do it, but I don't think anyone think they'd actually do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not it's a step in the right direction because it's not like it's going anywhere. I mean, from what I understand, is what they're doing is because the Christmas tree has been canceled this year, as most people probably already
Obviously,
know,
yeah.
and are doing a virtual online concert thing and doing the donation still and all that. So I guess for like the transition between each band, it's going to be a clip they have of 2816. I guess they're just kind of running it back and forth in the yard, maybe a little more. But from what I understand, is it's not going to be going on the main line because like
they're doing something with it.
Oh yeah, because like I don't see. That's why it confused me because I remember seeing like I think I saw like on the engineer side running boards there's like those LED like Christmas like light ropes. You know what I mean? Those tubes. It looks like it at least, and that's what confused me. I'm like, well, wait a second. I thought they weren't doing the Christmas train, so why does this thing look like it might have Christmas lights on it? Because with COVID, it's like they're not doing the Christmas train because they don't want all those people in the big crowds being surrounded by the train. So it's like, so how much sense would that be if they're still having a Christmas train but not making any stops? Because if you have especially something like 2816 out, now you're still going to have all those people gathering up trackside anyway. So that's what really confused me. And I thought when I first saw like the first leaked photo of it, I thought it was fake because a couple months ago someone posted a picture of 2816 fired up. And then that turned out to be a fluke. So,
yeah.
Or theory, it wasn't, and they said it was, so get people off the scent. But who knows?
That could very well be the case too. Maybe just doing like some testing just to make sure that it's roadworthy.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, foamer's gonna foam. If it's a steam engine,
Exactly.
You're gonna get crowd.
Exactly. I mean, something like this, I think there's always going to be somebody who's going to find out about it. I mean,
well, it was the TikTok video wasn't even like a rail fan. It was just
some random person. Yeah, which is the funny part about that when you think about it. Like that's how this got out, was just some random person who happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Because they really tried to keep it a secret, and they tried to keep it a secret so like the rail fans wouldn't go hunting for it. But little did they know that forget about the 1% of the generic public who actually might notice and know what it is.
Yeah. Now I was thinking about this like yesterday. I want to say, didn't 2816 come to Buffalo or around the area like 10 years ago?
It ran through here. I think it ran through.
Seen pictures. I want to say it was either it or the Royal Hudson.
No, it was 2016. I remember seeing the photos
in 2000, and I want to say it was 2004.
It was 2016.
Yeah,
I remember seeing the photos. It was 2016.
Wasn't there pictures of it in like Dunkirk?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, I've seen pictures of it in like 2004, being towed by a CP Jeep going west. I don't know where they sent it. Probably Toronto to Chicago or something. Maybe. But I feel like it has, and I think it was under steam at that point.
That would make sense.
Years ago.
Yeah. I remember because when we were like thinking about talking about this for this episode, I remember seeing that photo like last year or something like that. Somebody posted it in one of the Facebook groups, and I was just like, huh. Now here's my question that I want to pose to you guys. We were talking about this earlier. I mean, do you think that there's possibility of this getting run in the future by CP?
It's possible. I mean, it would be that's an expensive thing just to put around in a yard. Whether you're really doing much with it or not, how much the rebuild costs or whatever, just fuel and just general operating it back and forth is expensive. So I hope they at least get their money worth out of it.
Insurance, other things.
I'm
yeah,
sure
there's some hassle that comes with running.
But you know what? Insurance, though, it's kind of like with the UP Steam program where it's like, it's their engines anyway. I don't think insurance is as big as an issue. Because it's
not
their
compared
engine.
To not compared to like a Heritage Corporation or anything, or like
it's not like it's like 765 running on NS where it's two completely separate entities working together. The engine's at least under the parent company.
Yeah.
Or has some greater affiliation than something like again 765 with NS or something.
Yeah. I mean, I would like maybe after COVID's over and the world has kind of turned right
settle
side
back
up
down.
Again. Maybe then they would do some stuff with it. Because I mean,
you really can't draw a big crowd right now.
No, you can't. But I'm willing to bet they would draw a really big crowd if they took this thing out on the main line.
Oh man, I remember. I think it was late 2000s, early 2010s. That did a double head with 261.
Really?
Milwaukee Road 261. Yes. That
Huh.
was that was something.
Hmm.
That was pretty legit, and there's videos and photos of it, plenty of it.
It's too bad that 2317, the Pacific that they have at Steamtown doesn't run either, because that would be a really nice doublehead of those two.
Mm-hmm. But
Hmm.
wait, 2317 you said?
Yeah.
The
Or
Pacific?
20 or yeah.
Well, that thing needs to get rebuilt first.
Yeah.
It's in probably the best shape of their stuff they can rebuild right now because 3250 already ain't coming back anytime soon. So,
No. That
but
thing's got a bent frame. That ain't going anywhere.
I think that is probably the plan whenever they decide to finish up 3713.
Which I think they're making progress on that, definitely. I think they're working on that. Or
We talk about 2716.
Oh no, the Boston and is it Boston and Albany or Boston and Maine?
Boston, Maine.
Yeah, that Pacific that they have. Or no, is that a Hudson?
No, it's a Pacific. They don't have a they don't no. No, I don't think they have a Hudson. No. Well, no, it's funny you say that because 2816 was a part of the Steamtown collection at one point.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm actually looking at a picture of it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it was
Steamtown. Yeah, Steamtown.
It was in Vermont.
Yeah, in
and
Vermont.
then it was in Scranton for a bit, I think, and then I think CP took it back.
Yeah, they actually had, and when it was in Vermont, it was in like this all black with white walls. It doesn't look good.
Why?
I think
what's
that's
the park
later.
ranger gonna do to it?
Huh?
I said, what was the park ranger gonna do to it?
Oh, you were right about the double heading with 261 though.
I know I was right
Yeah, you
because
are
of
right.
photographic evidence.
Yeah,
Did you doubt me?
No, I didn't
doubt
know.
me?
No, I didn't.
You're doubting me.
I wasn't doubting
He's
you at all.
doubting me. Let the record show he doubted me. With everyone listening as my witness, he doubted me.
I don't know. I really like to see CP do some stuff with this in the future. I think it's to just let it sit in a warehouse and just kind of do nothing is really just it's not right. It belongs outside where everybody can see it, in operation.
Museum.
Stop fighting my 2816.
Man, I don't know. It's such a nice looking engine. I think it deserves to be seen. I don't know. I think it's just the fact that it hasn't run in a while. It's upsetting.
Kind of like 4449.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Well, that ran recently, didn't it?
I haven't seen any photographic evidence of that.
I could have sworn it ran.
But I would be delighted to be proven wrong.
I thought it ran like last December, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it ran on like some Christmas train last December. Before COVID happened. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. Maybe I'm not, but
a lot of Canada related topics.
Yeah, the past 2 episodes have been about Canada, and we got trust me.
Okay, because it wasn't the last episode. Ghost. No.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because that was the Halloween special. The 2 before that were Canadian.
Yeah, a lot of Canada. Canada has been really stepping up their game in terms of railroad stuff. I think there was also that. I forget where it was. There was a Go Rail transit station being expanded, and there was a Canadian National 484 on display, and they needed to move in order to expand the station, and they were trucking that to like a park or something nearby.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think it was 6167. I think the number is.
What is it? Canadian National or Canadian Pacific?
Canadian National.
What was the number?
I think it's 6167.
Yep.
Yes, that one is being moved to a park. I think one of the first photos is on the truck trailer, actually.
Yeah.
I think that was the engine that was in Train Simulator 2006. And like
the one in 2006 was 6213, 6218, which is it probably was 6218, which is the one in Fort Erie. U2.
I
One in
think
Train 6 was that. I
where
think this is a U2 as well.
you know what? I think my brother and my either my dad, or my brother and my mom saw this when they went to Canada. Which I was really really jealous of them for that.
Was it in Toronto? If it was, because I know Toronto has 6213, which is
Yeah,
a sister engine to 6218.
it might have been that. Yeah, 'cause I remember there was a place they were in Toronto and they
It's probably the Toronto Railroad Museum, because in Toronto, like they have the Toronto Roundhouse still there, and that's the Railroad Museum. It's like in the middle of the city.
that's what it was.
That probably was 13.
Hmm.
All right, should we
It was in.
Should we segue?
Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Do more with as I said for the Heritage units, do more with 6218. I'd like to see more of 6218.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like they'll listen to us because I mean, last time when we talked about the Canadian National Heritage units, more came up shortly after. So maybe
I think we made this joke. I think that was Canadian National though. This is CP. This is a different ballgame.
Maybe the Canadian head offices are listening to us up there.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we made that joke. I think
we did in the
okay.
last few episodes. But segueing on to another topic coming out of Canada.
Again,
Canadian National is doing a veterans unit.
Well, it's actually not coming out of Canada because the borders are closed. It's kind of staying there.
So staying in Canada, Canadian National is doing a veterans unit.
Yeah, they didn't actually release it yet, did they? They just kind of showed like a digital thing of it, right?
That was like a digital mock-up of it.
Yeah, so it's like, so why were the other ones a secret, but you guys are openly putting out the digital?
Well, maybe they realize that people are gonna find out about it anyway.
Maybe they realize that like Corey Rush is just gonna kick down all walls to get access to it. Just to be
probably.
the first one.
I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Hang on, let me get a picture to look at it again. Hang on.
It's obviously not the real one because you can tell that it's like digitally, remastered.
Yeah, they went over the handrails. It was just a digital, yeah.
The CSX ones before they came out too.
That's true. I mean, yeah, because people really, really knew about those ones before they were even released, especially 3194. I mean, a lot of people knew about that one.
Yeah, you just can't really keep a secret, so you just kind of gotta let the foam levels rise and then dissipate.
No, I mean, yeah, especially in this day and age, it's really, really hard to keep anything secret.
Oh, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not. I mean, it's almost similar to 1776 on CSX.
Yes, where it's like the cab is still like its actual paint.
It's still Canadian National. Okay, yeah.
And the car body is the camo. I like the camo on it. It complements the black nice and doesn't look too bad against the red.
No, it doesn't.
I like the poppy on the conductor side.
Well,
that's
Don
a cool touch.
Wore a poppy, so.
Well, no, the poppy was just it was a symbol of remembrance, and they were really largely used at the end of the First World War. It was a symbol of remembrance. So
because Canadian soldiers.
The thing is, no, not just Canadian soldiers. It was just in general, because the thing is about Veterans Day is that
it was Canadian Veterans Day that they wear the poppies.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, the rest of the world doesn't celebrate it as Veterans Day. The rest of the world, or at least countries that were involved, remember it as Remembrance Day for the end, because at the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month was the end of World War One. So the countries that partook in it remember it as Remembrance Day for the end of World War One. We're really the only country that calls it Veterans Day because we renamed it a couple of decades ago. That's when it really became Veterans Day. But everyone else, I think Canada also probably celebrates it at Veterans Day too in this case. But a lot of other countries celebrate it. Well, I don't know what celebrate, but basically it's called Remembrance Day. And it's more for, it is for veterans, but it was more for remembering of the end of the Great War. So that's what the poppies were largely seen, especially around Flanders and all that. And that's when they use them as that symbol of remembrance. And that's why you see people using it now.
I know it was the first time I'd ever remembered, really seeing it publicized was, when Don Cherry was wearing his on Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah.
But it's a neat symbol for sure.
Oh, absolutely. The Now, Jake, now here's the thing. I'm looking at the engineer side. What is the poppy on like the white stripe going along the side, or where is it
Yes,
located
that
at?
red circle. It's that big red
Well,
circle.
I'm not. I'm looking at the engineer side, and I can't seem to find a photo of the other side.
It's on like it is on the white stripe though, where
Okay,
it
yeah,
slants
because
downward.
it's cool because they on this photo that I'm looking at, they have it. They have what appears to be a like a ribbon of some kind. It's like a
Yeah,
yellow
it's like
ribbon.
those like that's another like veteran thing they do. 'Cause I think the Conrail had a veterans unit. It
They
had a
did.
big yellow ribbon on it.
Was that SD50, wasn't it?
I think so.
That sounds right. You know, here's the thing that I like about this thing is that it's not just Canadian, but it's also American as well. Because I think along
It's North
the
America, yeah. It's
yeah
Canadian and Canadian service.
yeah
Because yeah,
because it says
it's
on
Veterans
this
Day
side
and Remembrance Day.
it says North Americans Railroad, and I like how it says is thank you for your service in English, and then I think on the conductor side it says it in French.
Yeah, French Canadian.
Which I think is I think it's a nice touch to show that like, hey, we're not just a Canadian railroad, but we're an American railroad as well. I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those people. I think Canadian people do. There's a lot of that dual lingo thing because of French Canadian and all that. But yeah, November they recognize it as it. They said as Veterans Day and Remembrance Day. And I'm looking at their post on their Facebook page.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that this is like, because here's the thing. I think in my opinion, CSX 1776 was a bit of a missed opportunity.
Why is that?
I think they good idea, poor execution.
What do you mean?
Oh, you think they dropped the ball with the paint?
Not a lot, but I think a tiny bit, only because like it's like I don't know, like I like the idea. I like the idea.
Not armor yellow.
I don't know. I just think because if you put 1776 next to 911 and 3194, it just doesn't make sense.
Bland.
I would have
Well, they didn't paint the whole locomotive either.
Well, yeah. I just think that maybe it would have been cooler to see like all three of them carry like the same design, because 911 and 3194 kind of have sort of the same concept to it. I would have liked to see that on 1776.
Not really because they're both. I mean, 911 is painted to look like a fire truck. The design for that in 3194 are completely different.
Well, but he's saying like it's one base color, like it's not, the cab is not like regular CSX as opposed to like 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, but they both kind of have like the same concept of like like these sort of like striping and like like.
Let's see.
If you look at a picture of both of them, you'll know what I'm talking about.
No, they're different enough.
But you see what I'm saying though? Like they kind of carry this sort of same concept.
I like 1776 because I think the blue and the gold complement the camo well because it kind of it's like more like a navy blue. So I think it works out well, honestly.
I don't know.
Well, what would you do instead? What would you have done differently?
I would have done a similar design to 911. I would have done a solid color, or at least some sense of like a solid sort of design, if that, and then take off like the base colors off of 1776 on like to make it not look like a standard CSX engine and kind of give it some sense of variety. And this is what I like about the CN unit is that yes, it's still got the sort of originality of the front, but it's got there's a good like segue, if you will, across the side. It's like it's 1776 done right, in my opinion.
Well, honestly, I think 1776 transitions more into the camo because it's like, well, if anything, CN is a little more original in that sense because the red and the white are just exactly what CN was. And then instead of black, it's camo. At least with this, the standard CSX scheme is, it's just all blue with yellow. So and it has like that nice swooping like curve down to the frame with it. And then you have the camo. So I don't think it's in terms of originality. I think they both work. I think they both work well, and they had a similar thing going for each other, honestly. But the cool thing about like the CSX ones is the windows. They have those light decals in the cab windows, which I still am kind of surprised those are FRA allowed. Because I don't know if they distort vision at all looking out of them because of how the decals
Well, they could be.
are
They could be one way.
No, they probably are one way, but I figured like because of the different colors, it might just distort the shade of it.
I
Like,
think I know why Jake kind of likes 1776.
why is that?
Because on the side of it, where the camo comes in, there's a stripe that's like a bonnet.
Snaky Zaggo.
Oh no, they found out.
No.
No. Okay. Here's my other quarrel with 1776.
Quarrel. Like, you need to go have a duke it out with it.
Are you Loki now? We have no quarrel with you. An ant has no quarrel with a boot.
You planning on stepping on us? It's a white. Okay, they have white text on a white based camouflage. It's a little bit hard to read.
I will agree on the white. Yes, I 100% agree, and I think that was my only gripe with it was that you really can't read it.
No, you can't. I mean,
not more or less from a design standpoint. I think it's fine. Just maybe make it the dark yellow.
Or honestly, go with the blue. The blue probably would have looked good.
The blue would have,
or the yellow would have made sense just on the fact that their lettering is normally yellow.
True, but I think
it would have been dark enough to see it at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the digital camo because like none of the other companies have really done something like that. So it's a cool concept, but it's just.
I mean, KCS
Desert Storm. Well, no, different kind of camo.
No, KCS. I don't think digital
camo.
I don't think digital was really a thing yet by that time either.
Well,
by the time that came out, hang on. Let me go look at.
Digital camo has been a thing forever.
It hasn't.
Yes,
digital camo. No, but how do you have digital camo? It's been forever. If digital is like a brand new thing, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, but I'm saying it's not like they just came out with this like yesterday.
No, but it wasn't. It still wasn't. I don't think it was a thing yet in like the 80s when that veteran.
Oh no,
90s when the Desert Storm unit came out.
Wait,
hang on. What are we talking about?
We're getting off track.
Wait, hang on. Wait, what engine are we talking about?
I don't know.
Are we talking? I thought we were talking about. I thought we were talking about the KCS unit. Oh, I thought we were talking about the KCS one.
No,
I was like, what?
Josh said Desert Storm.
76 is a bonnet.
Josh said something about Desert Storm, and you said
no. You're right about that. You're right about that.
But I was bringing up KCS because they used the digital camo technically first.
They did. No, CSX has come out first, I thought.
Yeah, CSXs came out first.
No, it did. No.
Okay, hang on. All right, we're gonna settle this real quick.
No, because it was 1943, then KCS.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I really don't think so. I think.
All right.
CSX did it.
We're gonna settle this right now. Okay.
All right. So, I'm looking at the Trains article. Trains
article was November 12th. 30th. Wait. Okay. What article are you looking at?
I'm looking at CSX releases veteran unit and first responders.
All right. I'm looking at the KCS one.
Wow. KCS did do it first.
Okay. All right.
There it is. Number 2. The second time he doubted me in this podcast so far. You people as my witness.
I doubted you too, Jake. I feel a bit disappointed
in yourselves for doubting me.
I don't. Well, here's. We'll say Kate. Well, I've never been.
I don't doubt that 1776 is a bonnet.
Well, can we just talk about how with all these veterans units coming out, that no one talks about 6920 anymore? As a matter of fact, I haven't even heard like people catching it or anything anymore. That thing just disappeared.
It's on a pooled local in like Duluth, Georgia. NS's SD60Es have been put in like captive local service.
Yeah.
So like
that might be why.
Has been sitting in Georgia. Like 5642, the training first responders unit, that's been up in like Winston-Salem. and then
So
like
you never,
911's been like going around in captive service, and
I'll say you never hear about those anymore.
You,
they
you
all look
really
weathered
don't.
and disgusting.
Man, okay, here, you know, I don't. In sense of digital camo, CSX did it better because I've never been a fan of
Because of the
KCS.
darker
Yeah,
colors.
because I don't. What is this color that KCS did on the back of theirs?
Well, foamers too, like, don't care as much for the veterans unit on NS anymore either because they took the RS5T off of it and replaced
Okay,
it with
okay.
C3.
If you're really about to be like, if you're about to like sleep on a veterans unit because of the horn, I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah, Leslie
I
horns
think
are
you the
also
one be really
tougher to
be sleeping.
maintain. Like, the diaphragms get just jacked up really quick. Like, a Leslie horn is
Oh.
very hard to maintain.
like is it? But like you're gonna like you're gonna not care about a unit as much as like, cause I don't know. That's why I've never been, you know, like a horn person when it comes to, you know, rail fanning and stuff like that. I've never really cared.
A lot of those locomotives just they need to clean them up, man. They
Oh
clean
yeah.
the Southern up, but they don't keep them up well. Like Union Pacific does a lot better of a job keeping up their heritage units than
Oh,
Norfolk
absolutely.
Southern does. And it
Because
shows,
washing costs money.
of course.
Well, NS really hasn't. NS has made a lot of poor decisions in recent, I
I
would say.
mean,
Really?
It's not like Union Pacific hasn't, but I don't know. Union Pacific just keeps up their more prized pieces,
Well,
I
I
would
think
say.
I think I think UP cares more about PR and stuff like that, and you know.
All the PR you will ain't
Yeah.
gonna save your stocks there, guy.
Well, true, but I think they care more about it than NS does. I mean, UP literally has a maintained Steam program, and I think
Barely.
yeah, but I mean, like, how much publicity did they get because of 4014?
Yeah, I
A
mean, like
lot.
a
Think
lot
of
of
that.
people, like you couldn't get a hotel room within 300 miles of that festival.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely. But anyway, see
can't get that with a bonnet.
the CN one. I think it's I don't I like the concept. I'm excited for it. I mean,
Fake.
maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical here with 1776. That I mean, that's fine. You're more than welcome to call me out on that, but like, I just think CN did a better job on it. I
I
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they did a better job. I think because they went for the same concept, I'm saying they did as good of a job. I can't really say better because it's the the style they went for is basically the same. The cab is the actual paint scheme, and then the rest of the car body is camo, just a different camo.
Yeah, but I think it's a better chosen camo. I like this. I like
I,
this idea of the camo better than the
I
CSX
think the
one.
camo I think the camo looks better. I don't mind the digital camo of 1776 because I think they made the greens dark enough to where it looks nice.
Yeah, I just think if I don't know, I think CSX just went wrong with the color because, like I said, like when you have like that color base and then you put white text on it, you can barely read it.
Yes, that I think that I mean because
That wasn't
speaking of
smart.
4006 again, when they did theirs originally, they kept the KCS markings on the nose, this in KCS red and yellow,
Yeah,
and people were like, "That looks disgusting," and
yeah,
then
that
they
looks
actually changed it to
stupid.
red, white, and then they actually changed it to red, white, and blue.
Yeah, because that actually makes sense.
Yeah, and it looked good, and it not even just making sense. It complemented the scheme better and like
Speaking
blended in with it
speaking of
more.
which, I have not heard about this unit in a very long time.
Yeah, neither have I. That's another unit that's kind of another veteran that kind of fallen off the map.
I'm about to do some quick
On what?
The
uh
4006.
Oh, the K. Yeah, ain't no one said nothing about the KCS one.
I'm going to heritage units real quick.
Like it's kind of like the one that's like
Oh,
undervalued.
it was on an NS train in Alabama 8 days ago.
Oh, would
What
you look at that?
what train was it on?
340, Irondale, Alabama.
340. What is that? Like an Irondale to Macon manifest train?
Uh, Probably it's a manifest.
Sounds like one of those Atlanta area trains.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't I like what CN has been doing recently, where they're doing a lot of like they're getting on the PR train, and they're doing more
I think they're
stuff.
done on veterans units.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
think
because
that's all we're getting.
I don't think they're gonna do a CP where they do 6 of them. I mean, one, if you ask me, like one is always enough if you do it the right way. I mean, CP was the only real company that kind of went for it and kind of wanted to do one for every specific branch, or like every something like that, where compared to other companies where they're just sort of a one and done. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with what CP
Wait,
did.
CP or CN? Because
CP.
CP just did the 8 that were all the same of their original scheme.
Oh,
What?
I think Montana Rail Link did a veterans unit.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
that's gonna be our next topic, isn't it?
But wait,
Right.
hang on,
Or
Jake. Jake, you know what I'm talking. The 6 CP ones that are all the different colors.
what are you talking about?
Those units.
Some of the veterans units? You said heritage units.
No, I said veterans units.
Did you say veterans
I
units?
did say veterans units.
Oh, you mean where it's not one for each branch of the military? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I
Somebody's not paying
Veteran
attention apparently.
hermitages.
No, I'm looking
Veteran
at.
hermitages.
So I'm trying to look at pictures of them and like inspect them. So I'm not fully paying attention. I could have sworn you said heritage.
No, I said veterans units because
Okay.
I said
Making a
how
model
how
of those.
CP went for it differently because they did one for each branch in the military, where like every other company has done it just one veterans unit. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with either of those ideas. I think if you do it the right way, it works
I
out.
think CP was being creative.
Yes, yeah, CP went the creative route with it. I think the product was really, really good. I think they did a really great job on it.
We need CP heritage, or we need CSX heritage units. I wanted Atlantic Coastline Gevo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Remember how all CP's units are rebuilds? All
Actually,
ACUs.
well, I mean, they don't have any aces.
One of them blew a rod like a couple months ago.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
I
one?
want to say it was like 7023.
Oh jeez.
It's like the green one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, no, 7023 I think is the all white one. I want to say. Let me look at that. Real quick.
Gray. 7023 I think was the Air Force one.
That sounds right.
Where it's paying like an F-18.
Yeah, because I've seen that. That's the one I've seen.
Yeah, it's one where it's paying like an F. That's like the lighter gray than the darker gray on top.
But I think they're doing ACUs because they're kind of late to the party on that one, and they don't have any aces, and I don't think they would want to. They don't have any like, you know.
Did they Tier 4 Gevos?
What?
They didn't buy any Tier 4 Gevos, did they?
Not as far as I know.
I guess they have seen a Tier 4 Gevo CP engine yet.
They only have ES44s, I think, is their latest thing.
No, Canadian Pacific hasn't bought a new locomotive since 2013.
Yeah, which I'm guessing those are probably the ES44s.
It was 9300 series Tier 3 ES44 ACs.
Yeah, I mean, and well, you know what? They also are rebuilding their AC4400s as well.
Yes, they are. They're
So
rebuilding
the CWMs.
and all their 90 Max that they had sitting in Winnipeg.
Yeah, those are turning into the ACUs.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically kind of did like what NS did and went the rebuild route.
So what happens if there's like ACUs, but they got the yellow?
That is something that I want to see. Which I know UP still at least has 190 Mac, and it's sitting in a deadline in Bailey Yard in North Platte.
There's got to be a couple of 90 Max still left on UP.
Oh, there has to be.
There are probably a bunch of deadlines.
Oh, because that's what I always say. You never know what you'll find in deadlines on railroads, because you'd be surprised what you might find.
There's a Chicago Northwestern -9 sitting at a deadline, I think in like Pueblo, Colorado.
I think you're right about that. Because I'm willing to bet 6706 is not the last one remaining.
I think there's some small deadline yard somewhere in Los Angeles that has like a couple Santa Fe Jeeps, a couple Sun Pacific SD9s.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And a bunch of other and maybe some Western Pacific GE 44 tonners. A bunch of goodies.
Yeah.
A bunch of goodies. All right. So, should we move on to the next veterans unit then? Because we're sticking with the veterans unit.
Yeah, because Josh already brought this up. The Montana Rail Link, which is a very surprising one. I did not think they would do one, or they were.
Yeah, because MRL has been like quiet.
Yeah, they
don't
really get talked about a lot.
Well, yeah, they're trying not to be, cast out and, the Alex Kolsky abyss because he had like an MRL fad. What I just said is probably going to get cut out.
Nah, it's okay.
See, because my favorite veterans unit up to this point so far was 4006 KCS on the fact that I like the big American flag look because it reminded me of an old bicentennial unit.
Oh yeah.
But the only thing that drew me off was the whole doing the camo deal, like they did, like kind of copying UP in that sense. So it's like, did you really have to do the whole camo bit? Like the one thing that was not as appealing to 1943. But then MRL comes in, basically does the same thing, but with no camo, and it's like, okay,
the difference is
favorite.
the back end is a regular MRL scheme, I want to say.
And so is the front, just minus the stars.
Well, yeah. No, but yeah, this is
like typical MRL, but they got that navy blue, so it kind of
that blue works. Yeah.
No, this is 4006 done right, if you ask me.
And what I like about it too, in like just big letters, it says "Thank you, veterans" on the side.
Oh yeah, that's definitely nice.
That
a neat route.
And honestly, another thing I like about it too is the KCS did not do it. They put fading and shading into their flag, so it looks like there's like a shadow when the flag flaps. Well, KCS is more of just a flat white and red, but wavy to make it look like a flag is waving. This one actually they put shading and stuff into the flag, so it gives it a little more depth.
They painted the side truck frames and the fuel tank in a blue to match the flag on the Montana rail link.
Did they?
From that picture, it looks like it.
It kind of does. I think it might just be No, I think it's still.
I don't know, man.
I think it's still black. It looks like it's black. I think that one picture kind of looked like a little bit of a blue hint, but I think it's still black. I like it though. I like all the emblems. I like the armed forces emblems on the side, all 5 of them like that.
Oh yeah, on the back, on the
and then it says Montana Rail Link on top like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the small little MRL on the side. Because I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. I feel like you could just had a number there, because like some of the stars cover over the numbers and the letters, and it's like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I can definitely see what you're talking about.
I think a reporting mark like that might be mandated. Say like on the UP Heritage units, they have a Union Pacific reporting mark under there, or a small NS one. I think that's just mandated by the FRA.
Yeah, that might be an FRA thing.
Fair, but at the same time, there is their logo and the thing that says on the side on the car body, and there is an MRL logo on the front.
Yeah, you might.
That's just my assumption.
There might be like certain requirements on where you need to have markings.
Well, instead of just doing MRL, I still think they could have done what they normally do with the red Montana rail link. I still think they could have made that work.
Maybe.
God, we could use a Montana rail link case.
I've thought about it.
I do like Montana rail link a lot. I love their paint scheme. I love the combo of dark blue, white, and black.
I kind of would like a Montana rail link SD40-2.
Agreed.
Because like DME leased them, and like there's videos of a couple of them coming by on K trains.
I wouldn't mind a Montana rail link F45.
Yeah, those
F45s, man. You love them cow body units.
He
likes a good cow unit.
Well, I like that. I just like that paint. I think the paint works really well on that. The logos and the white stripes on the front. It basically looks like a BN one minus you just replace the green with the blue.
I mean, a buddy mine's got a Wisconsin Central that don't look too bad, but
when I first heard about this thing, I was very, very surprised because I didn't think that I didn't really expect them to do something like this.
Josh, you want a Montana rail link tunnel motor? I don't think they ever had them, but
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did.
The Susquehanna F45s weren't bad either. There's a picture of their only F40. Well, probably their only F45 left at that point. It was number 3636, and I think Rob Ball got a picture of it going through 437 up there at Forks, leading a westbound CSX manifest in 2006.
That sounds about right. I mean, there was
I
a, I
mean,
mean, there was
fun.
Susquehanna intermodal trains coming into SK. In what the
Yeah,
90s?
we used to in the '90s. We had it was called the Sealand train. It was 290 and 291. Went from Chicago down towards I think Croxton, New Jersey on Susquehanna. But there's literally videos of like Susquehanna 70s SD45s and the F45 like running 19th Street in Erie and like going like right through my hometown, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, because I think there's that one VHS of like railroads in Buffalo in like 1995 or something like that, or like in the early 90s or like late 90s, early 2000s. Really,
I have
we watched it at your house, I think.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one, because I think there's a clip of like a B40 leading.
Susquehanna.
Yeah,
Yes,
Susquehanna
it was. That was
B40
when.
leading. Yeah,
Yeah, that's when they're
yeah,
still running trains to Buffalo. Yes.
yeah,
okay, yeah, then that was the Sealand train on
yeah.
NS.
Which it's too bad we still don't have that because that would be really
I
really
got
cool to see.
Yeah, I got Marco Labrazzi's video. It was NS, or I watched it. It was like NS from Buffalo to Conneaut. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it probably is good.
1990s, fun times.
Yeah.
Early 2000s were too.
I
That's
don't.
why I'm on.
I mean, I think when I'm looking at these veterans units, I think end of the day, 1943 is still my favorite.
I sense some bias in that
Yeah, oh,
opinion.
extremely.
Well,
But you know what the
I literally have a model of it right here on top of
you
my
know what's
desk.
the irony of all
Like,
that though? You know what's the irony?
what's that?
It don't got the yellow.
Yep.
There is no yellow under 1943. I like 1943, but it's also a missed opportunity. I would like 1943 much more if they kept the cab the same, but made the rest olive drab green. You slap a big star and bar Army Air Corps logo on the side.
It was cool. It was cool, but like every UP like fan has a model of it.
Well, yeah, that's why I have one. I mean, okay, here's
I
my
would have bought one if it wasn't olive drab because they would have done it after its namesake of the plane, kind of like
No,
how they did the
only
George
Union
Bush unit.
Pacific and you're gonna get is a turbine. I already know this about you.
Not if this one was done the way I would have liked to seen it, or was painted like a bomber. Because warplane painted trains are cool.
Well, you like warplanes in general, which
You
I
do.
wish I knew more about, but
I mean, okay, I will like okay with that.
B-17 is kind of cool.
So, Jake, what you're saying is basically switch out the silver part at the front and replace that with yellow, or like make that like the normal UP scheme.
No, what I'm saying is keep the silver part in the cab, and then you make the rest olive drab green. You put a
So
big
you wanna-
star bar, United States Army Air Corps logo on the side, because then you paint it to make it look like the plane it was named after. You paint it to look like a B-17.
Well,
That would have been legit.
I mean,
Like how they
I'm gonna
did,
put
I
a
mean,
scary shark face on the front of it.
like how they did the George Bush unit. They painted it after Air Force One. You should have did the same thing with that, in a similar sense, where it's based on a plane.
Okay, but the thing is that it's supposed to be a veterans unit, and I think the reason they did what they did to show all the different branches of the military.
Okay.
Like I think that's the direction they went, and they just called it the Spirit of the Union Pacific because that just made sense, I guess.
Well, no, because they had an actual bomber named Spirit of
Well,
Union
yeah,
Pacific.
I know that, but if they use that name because it's
Well, it still could be a veteran just because it's based off of one thing doesn't mean it doesn't mean they're gonna come out and say, oh yeah, it's only for veterans of the Army, Air Corps, Air Force. It's not gonna say that. Of course, it still be a veterans unit. I just think that just would have been much cooler if they would have done that instead.
Yeah.
Because I do think 1948 is cool. I still think it's a little clustered in my opinion. It's nice looking, but I still think there's a little too much going on.
I think they
And it felt like they had. My thing about it, I think, is they had 3 different design teams, and they couldn't decide what design they wanted to do. And like, okay, we're gonna do all 3 and put them together. Because while the camo has grown on me in that unit, I still think it kind of kills it a bit.
Well, maybe like next time we're like doing an op session and I have 1943 running an OCS, I think you'll change your mind.
I've seen
It'll
1943.
it'll change your mind.
I don't know. We need to
It'll
have.
change your mind.
We need to have. You guys need to go to like Tim's or something, and just
We
like
do.
don't tell Alex that you're going.
Hang on. I actually did a digital mock-up of 1943 of how I kind of wish it would have looked. I'm gonna go see if I can find it.
I don't know.
I actually did when 1943 came out.
But
I kind of did with what CP did, where every branch had a.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah, I kind of remember that concept.
Here. This okay. I'm putting in the chat here. This is kind of how I wish 1943 looked. I
Yep.
think this would have been cool as hell. That would have been legit.
watch your profanity.
That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. I think it's simple, but it's cool. You
Yeah.
still
That green
because my
above
favorite
white.
element of it is the front, and you keep the front exactly the way it is, and then you change the rest. That would have been cool.
Green a
I mean,
little light?
yeah.
And if it gets dirty, it just looks cool.
If it gets dirty, well, then that sucks.
Yes, because it just looks like it got beat. I mean, because the B-17s were bullet sponges. So, I mean, they get dirty, they get beat up, and they could still keep going. So it would be like poetic justice.
Well, I really don't think anybody's gonna be firing guns at this, though.
Depends on where you park it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
What, like South Chicago?
There might be a couple of holes that be left in Chicago overnight. Maybe not incidental, but there could be some.
All right.
I wonder how many holes there'd be if CSX Park 3194.
Oh god, that thing would get burnt down to the frame if they parked that anywhere. There would be nothing left of that thing. But
Now we're getting dodgy.
Yes. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I want to well actually, before we do that, I want to pose a question for the viewers here. So we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the art office, and I'm possibly proposing a live stream special on my Twitch on December 1st, which is the day that the first episode came out. And I want to ask you guys, the viewers, if that's something that you guys would want to watch. If it is, leave a comment down below if you guys want to see that. If not, what else would you guys might like to see? And I think Jake, you were possibly on board with this idea as well, weren't you?
Yes, and I'll discuss more of that with you later. But yes,
yes. So I wanted to pose that question before it gets too late because I think that'd be a really cool idea because that way we can interact with you guys. You guys can ask us questions, and we can give live responses, and we can talk about really anything that you want to talk about. Overall, I think it'd be a really, really fun experience. So leave your comments down below and follow me on my Twitch if you haven't already. Once again, that's twitch.tv/AdamHelwig Live. I stream there every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you can catch me over there. I want to thank Jake and Josh for joining me on this episode.
Like a catchphrase or something for your channel.
I do. I really do.
If it's not Union Pacific,
if it's not UP, it's boring.
If it's not UP, well, I'm gonna disown you.
If it's not UP, then it's not Adam Helwig.
If it's not Armor Yellow, then it's not strong enough. I'm not going to come up with stuff on the fly.
If it's not Armor Yellow, then it's just too mellow.
But
that's actually good.
I want to thank you guys all for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Follow me on my social media down below, and that is it for us. I'm Adam, and I'll see you guys next time.